So I think we're waiting for Zach. Dwayne, I think you actually reached out to Zach before, right? Have you heard from him?
Yeah, let me just ping him here.
Yeah. So, has Krown's other stuff, other events? So you guys have a lot of events planned after this as well. Do you guys want to talk about that in the meantime?
Yeah, I could go into some of that. We got a State of the Dapps after this call, hosted by June Dam. Yeah, that's really exciting because we Krown helped launch another DAC called MetaDAC, which was created from the DACathon.com event. And so, yeah, so we're hosting that. Going to go over some info about DACs. I'm not sure exactly what else is planned for that, but yeah, a lot of the where DACs have been, where they're going, you know, some of those problems in between. Yeah, it's really going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, last night we had a bunch of like founder events, and we had a dance party and stayed up kind of late. It's pretty fun to do this virtually.
So
yeah,
you had a virtual dance party?
Yeah, it was pretty great. Yeah.
Wait, did you do it on like one of the VR softwares, or how did that happen?
No, we just did it here on Zoom and put on some
Okay.
trippy backgrounds, and we had I don't know where those we had some incredible DJs. I don't know where they were. Dwayne, where were those guys from? We actually had like real DJs come perform, and they were having a lot of fun.
One of our friends, Casey, that was involved with Krown in the beginning, I was just thinking about DJs. I went, oh, who should we get? And she called me and said, you know, my friends are so excited. I was telling them about Krown. They're interested in all this stuff, and they just like they're really excited that their DJ career is taking off. So yeah, so it was a bunch of people in Philly. Yeah, they're pumped. They were excited. It was a good vibe.
I could jump into my my presentation if we're not getting Zach on right now.
Yeah, for sure. What do you got for us?
All right. Yeah. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of gambling apps. I know gambling's for degenerates, and I'm not advising you to do it, so don't gamble. But I'm showing you for a very specific reason. You know, gambling is very important to all crypto because it demonstrates the security of the network. And there's a lot of cases where tokens get stolen and things get messed up. But yeah, so mostly I'm showing you today is how you could actually own part of a casino and collect dividends off that. And it's highly controversial about what this represents for certain governments and certain legal jurisdictions. But I'm just excited that it exists, and want to put it out there for other people to think about how this can be used for other applications besides gambling. So I'm just going to jump into it and share my screen. So this is a big dot game / dice. And if you've been in crypto a while, you kind of understand the concept of this game. There's a slider, you can scroll it up and down. And this is basically like how much risk you want to take. So if you want to take less risk, you slide it up all the way to the right, and it shows how much you could get paid out if you play this game and you win. If I want to take a large risk, I could scroll down all the way to 3. I think that's the lowest you can go. And with my 0.5 EOS bet, I could win 16 EOS, which is a pretty significant payback on this. It's a 32x payback. But just for to be conservative, and I don't want to lose my precious EOS, I'm gonna just roll it at 93 and just show you what happens here. And I'm logged into Scatter, by the way, and you're not gonna see the message pop up to sign the transaction. But essentially, you can see I'm signed in with this account, maximum cents, up on the right. I'm gonna click sign, and it should take a minute. It has to generate random numbers. Nice, and I won. On that, I won 0.02 EOS, essentially from that. And as you play this, you earn tokens. So it's really cool. This is all transparent, all on chain. You can see all the bets. You can see my bets. I've done some bets here. And the more you play this, the more you earn these big tokens. So I played this a little bit, and then I wanted to give this demo, and I didn't want to play it all day to get enough tokens to be able to stake them, so I could get this kind of passive income investment into this casino. I'm pretty sure they don't use the word investment. It's more of a staking terminology. But I want to show you that what that looks like. So up here in the menu, you can go to dividends. They do use the word dividends, which is pretty surprising. But anyway, you can see how much is being gambled on the site and how much is accumulating for the dividend pool. And you can see how much the balance of tokens that you have. And this is where you would stake them. So I'm going to stake these tokens. And by doing so, this will allow me to essentially take a part of these, part of this dividend pool that's coming in. So you can't see this, but my transaction popped up. I'm going to sign this transaction. So I essentially locked up my tokens, and then now I'll be able to get a payout. And so you can see here, for if you had 10,000 of their tokens, you would get 0.0047 EOS for each within this dividend pool. And so this is constantly accumulating, and you're like, well, how else can I get these tokens, right? And you're like, I could just play this game all day long and be a complete degenerate and spend all my money mining these tokens, which has happened on EOS. People are spending billions of dollars on this. I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is like literally just on EOS alone, there's been billions of dollars of transactions. But I'm going to show you another way to get these tokens. I'm going to pop over here to Nudex. And Nudex is a decentralized exchange, if you guys don't know this yet, for those of you who are watching. And I logged in with my Scatter wallet. You can see my account up here. And there's, if you're familiar with order books and trades, this will come naturally. But to keep it quite simple, I went over to my market order, and I put in a small amount of 0.25 EOS. I'm going to just go through and click buy. And just give it a second. My transaction pops up. You can't see it in Scatter. I'm going to sign it. Entrustment succeeded. I think my order has gone through, but I'm going to wait a second. And if I scroll down, I can see I put in a buy order, and it sold me 0.25 EOS worth. I'm going to pop over to the dice game. I'm going to go back to my dividends and see that BG is back in my wallet where I have it. I'm going to click maximum because I'm just going to stake all that in there because I want to get that hourly dividend. Sign the transaction, and boom, now I'm invested more in the site. So so you don't necessarily have to play it and necessarily lose all your money, because this is kind of addicting. Just warning you. And yes, that's how you how you can invest in these casinos and kind of be this passive shareholder in them. And one more thing, you're going to have to claim them. So if you do stake, you're going to see this collect button, and this will accumulate over time. I just did it, so I'm not accumulating right now. But I think in the next hour, I'm going to have to if I want to collect it, then I could just click this button and you'll sign a transaction. So yeah, this is Big.Game. There's a few other games on here. Feel free to check them out. Poker War, Banker Bowl. There's a slot game as well. And I want to show you another game that's has done this really well. They're doing some upgrades, but I anticipate it being very successful. And this is EOS Real, and they have the most beautiful graphics. And once again, there's still this problem with CPU and net that other EOS applications have. So on both these games, if you're going to play them, definitely stake some recs for CPU and for net. And I'm going to show you on this one. So I'm going to play this rock and roll game. I'm going to bet half an EOS on this. We're going to spin it. And you can't see it. The transaction popped up, and I signed the transaction on Scatter. It's spinning. That was intense. And so I got half an EOS back. So I'm going to do one more just because I can. And we're going to see if we can hit this special wheel up here. Come on. Oh, that was intense. So let me show you real quick how to stake on this one. Up on the top, you have exchange, which is down right now. I think they had some problems with their token. Dividend is what we're going to click on. We're going to go on my balance. You can see there's nothing in here because I'm not staking yet. And then you can see the payout pool. So the last pool was only 17 EOS. There's kind of low volume on here. I think they're kind of they're doing lots of upgrades, but it should pick up at some point. And here you can see all the total staked EOS, total circulating EOS, and I'm going to stake 264 because that's what I have. Click the stake button, It's this little Pac-Man guy. My transaction pops up. I sign the transaction, and then now you can see my staked amount. So then you can see your dividend, and you can see the expected dividend of what how much I've invested in this casino. And if I had 10,000, this is what I would get for the small, tiny pool of tokens that are available. And you can see the next payout as well, which is really cool. So yeah, so that's all I got. Do you guys have any questions about this? This is kind of yeah, it's kind of strange to show as a demo, but I think this concept of being able to invest into a product or service and get a return is really interesting. And I hope you guys think about some other ways to apply this in other communities as well.
Yeah, I mean, gambling, it used to be even a bigger deal on EOS just because of how much easier it is compared to like Ethereum. Bitcoin Day has always been a thing, but obviously the confirmation times, and then it takes a long time. Ethereum is the gas fee is kind of killing it as well. With EOS, is almost a little bit too easy to be using these applications. So, yeah.
Yeah, I onboarded someone to EOS yesterday, and I think they bought like $80 of EOS, and then within like 10 minutes, they had made over $700 gambling, and I'm like, oh man, I created a monster. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any questions. Yeah.